Hi guys, I'm back with another video, and today's video is another book review. I'm going to be reviewing The Greatest Story Ever Told by Bear Grylls. It's given to me by a friend, as many of my books are at the moment, and I've actually read through this twice since I've had it. It's a pretty interesting read, but the first thing that struck me was the author, Bear Grylls. And when I looked into it, it's like, yes, it's that Bear Grylls. It's the survivalist guide. So why was he writing about the story of Jesus? That was the first thing that struck me. But the second thing that struck me was my friend said I would get quite a lot out of this. And I was like, it's the story of Jesus. You know, I've heard it before. Why is this any different? And I was actually quite surprised. Pleasantly so. The chapters are very small in themselves, so it's very easy to read, very light read. So let's just give you an example. Like chapter 5 is that, like, not even 2 pages, so it's very short, very light, easy read. And it does take you through the life of Jesus. So the first four books in the New Testament, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, sort of all compiled together to tell you the story of Jesus. But its unique twist is it's not just retelling it, but it's retelling it through the eyes of the people who knew Jesus. So it's split into 4 parts. The first part is you've got Mary, Jesus' mother. So she tells the story of Jesus through her eyes. Then you've got Theon, who is just a random skeptic who follows Jesus. So you get the story through his eyes, so you get this additional character not present in the Bible. Simon, one of the disciples, you get his version, and John the Baptist, so you get his version as well, who was a friend of Jesus growing up. And the 5th part is Mary Magdalene, so you get her testimony as well in this. So it goes for the 5 parts, and it's not just like each one who tells the entire story through their eyes. It's like it does break. So the first part with Mary, mother of Jesus, you get Jesus' childhood, and then it switches to the skeptic when Jesus is now an adult, has come back from the desert and started performing the miracles, and then you get on to Simon and so on, and so you get to Mary Magdalene, who gives you her account of watching the death and crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. And it's quite emotional because these characters are watching it and expressing their emotions at the time. So it's quite an interesting read in that respect. It gives you a different account, a different view of the story of Jesus, which we're probably all very familiar with by this point. I also did like the inside the front cover. It gives you this handy map, and all the names are written in, I'm going to guess Hebrew, but it may not, but it's translated to Hebrew into English. So you've got Jerusalem, Nazareth, and the river Yarden. So very good for helping pictureize, sort of visualise where things are in relation to each other. That's really all I have to say on the thing. I was quite surprised it was Bear Grylls, and you know, it's the story of Jesus. It's a story I'm quite familiar with. I've heard it getting Catholic education. I've heard it in church many times. It's the same old story, like the birth, the life and death of resurrection. But it was interesting seeing it through the accounts portrayed in this book. So I'll say I don't really have anything else to say about this other than it was quite a good read. And again, the fact that the chapter is very small and is very lightly written make it a very easy read. So I said I've read it twice since I've had this in my possession, and I did try to return it to my friend. It's like, no, it's yours now, you keep it. So like, okay, so I now have another book for my bookshelf. Not that I have room on my bookshelf, but I've got another book. But yeah, it was a good read. I will give it 8 out of 10, I reckon. Yeah, 8 out of 10. So thanks for watching and listening to me ramble about a book about Jesus. But I will see you all next time. Bye.